All right, here we go. CP from KnicksFanTV here. Back again with another one. Just a real quick live stream that I wanted to get into. And it's this Enes Kanter topic. Enes Kanter, in a recent interview, came out and bashed the Knicks and bashed their ownership in regards to free agency. So I want to give my reaction to it. And hopefully get yours. This is KnicksFanTV, the home of the diehard Knicks fan. If you are a diehard Knicks fan, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because this is the home for you. This is the home where we talk about Knicks news, Knicks rumors, and post-game live analysis featuring live callers. Now, tonight we're not going to take any callers. I'm just going to be on here real quick. As I said previously, we're working on a lot of things on the back end, a lot of administrative items that we're taking care of to bring you even bigger and better season next year as it pertains to KnicksFanTV. Trying to get some new interviews, working on some more business, some more partnerships, trying to lock down some additional content. As you guys saw, our training camp preview still going on. We got one more part. I gave you guys 3 parts. We got one more part, still got to get edited. Hopefully that will release tomorrow. So we got one more part there. So just stay tuned for that. How's everybody doing out there, man? Pedesance, what's good? Ari, what's going on? How's the audio? How's the audio? Just let me know how the audio is, and then I'll get into it. Emmanuel C, what's going on? Guillermo, he says Guillermo's everywhere. Guillermo's a Knicks fan, man. Guillermo's a Knicks fan. So shout out to him. Jay from East New York, no calls today. I'm going to keep it quick, but we're getting back into the swing of things. Just want to do a couple quick live streams to talk about the some of the news that's been going on. You know, it's kind of a dead period. Training camp is starting up. Sources tell KnicksFanTV that training camp is starting on September 30th. So mark that on your calendars. So as we get closer, we will be doing some more live streams. And taking phone calls and getting back into the swing of things. But for tonight, I just want to touch real quick on this Kanter topic. So he went on with Howard Beck from Bleacher Report, esteemed writer Howard Beck, esteemed writer. And he was asked about free agency. And Kanter says he discussed this topic with his peers, but there's a specific reason for the failures in free agency, and that is one James Dolan. He says, not many people know that, but players talk from different teams. They talk. I'm not blaming anybody. I had an amazing time with the Knicks. Other teammates I talked to, or if they're on different teams, they always said, amazing city, everything is good, but the ownership. They always keep saying, but the ownership. Now, this is from Kanter's mouth. He says, I always tell them Knicks are amazing. It's the garden. It's the Mecca. If you win in New York, you're the king of the world. Some of the players, I guess, are scared to come here and don't want to deal with that. So that's from the words of Enes Kanter. Another thing he said that was pretty telling, he says, I can tell, don't get into it too much. The players, when we get into the locker room, we talk about what's going on. And the players always see how the management or how ownership treat other players and treat other players around. That's from the words of Enes Kanter. So what's my reaction to that? My reaction to that is this guy Kanter just cannot keep the Knicks out of his mouth. He can't stop talking. That's one thing about Enes Kanter, man. He cannot stop talking, whether it's about the Knicks or about anything else. And we'll keep it strictly basketball, because on the personal level, I don't have no problem with Kanter. What he's dealing with his own home country is crazy. He's damn near enemy of the state in his own country. That's crazy. You know, like the movie Enemy of the State with Will Smith. I mean, Kanter's almost living that in another country, but he's got his home country after him. It's not a good look. But from a basketball standpoint, this guy's a clown, man. This guy's a clown. Remember, this is the same guy who told you that we were gonna get primetime free agents. Not that I believed it, but he said it. This is what he said. Let's pull the receipts out right now.
So you think one of the top free agents will sign with New York?
I believe it, yes.
Any idea on who it might be?
I actually do have an idea, but I cannot really tell. It's a secret, but it's going to blow people's mind when he signed that for me.
But you got to give me a hint. No hint? Nothing?
I can't give no hint because I'll get burned big time.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it comes or not, but I believe this team. I believe in this organization. You know, they're gonna do very, very, very good things in the future.
Okay. I believe it. That's what he said. I believe it. 100%. It's going to be a surprise. We're going to get a big name. Now it's on the owner. This is also the guy that opted back into his deal. $18 million, which I would have done. Anybody would have done that. That's makes good business sense to do that. But this is also the same guy that opted in to stay with this team that's all, dysfunctional and everything like that. So now he says Dolan is to blame. The guy's a clown, man. The guy's a clown. So that's one take. That's one take. Now, we could walk and chew gum at the same time. I understand that. So while he does talk too much, is he wrong? Probably not. Because it comes a time where you're hearing the same things over and over again, whether or not the validity of it, whether or not it's accurate, whether or not it's true. When you hear the same things over and over again, where there's smoke, there's fire. So while he needs to be quiet and leave the Knicks alone, from the Knicks standpoint, when you look at the D Rose situation, the D Rose book, and what Kanter's saying, it's just we just can't shake those negative vibes. We just can't shake that negative perception of the New York Knicks. We're a laughingstock. We continue to just bring this bad aura, these bad vibes about us. And listen, I'm not trying to dwell on the negatives. I'm not trying to turn this thing into Knicks are going in a terrible direction, because I'm more on the bullish side on the Knicks. I believe in what's going on right now. I like the young core that we're building with RJ in here, with Kevin Knox, with Mitch, ISO Zoe, with Dennis Smith Jr. I like what they're trying to do right now. I like the flexibility that we've garnered based on these past trades and acquisitions. So I do think we are going in the right direction. But there still is a negative aura over this team that we just can't seem to shake. A lot of you guys come at me in the comments, not come at, but just comment in the comment section. He needs to sell the team. He needs to sell the team. Listen, the guy's a billionaire. The team is worth almost $4 billion. He'll sell it when he's ready to cash out. He'll sell the team when he's ready to cash out. So that sell the team angle, that's not going to move the needle, right? That's not going to help us. What is going to help is winning. Winning cures all. Winning cures all. And we have to continue. I just hope that this management team is really taking all of this to heart. And hopefully that makes them give more of a concerted effort to really turn this thing around. And not make the silly mistakes that cost us in the past. Winning. We have to win. We have to be more disciplined in how we manage the team. Have to be more disciplined in how we run the team. We need cohesion. We need consistency. All right. I saw a graphic. I believe it was Knicks World, one of those blogs. I saw a graphic of. It was basically a color-coded chart of NBA teams and their roster turnover from year to year, from like a 5-year span. And the Knicks were like all in the red, meaning it's constant change. And then on the flip side, conversely, you had the Spurs where it was all greens. All greens. The model consistency, that's what we need. Now, granted, the Spurs had Tim Duncan. Let's not get it twisted. You need luck. Spurs got lucky when they got Tim Duncan, because remember, they weren't even the worst team in the league when they got Tim Duncan. It was the Celtics. Celtics tried to tank for Tim Duncan. Spurs ended up getting him, and they built a dynasty over 20 years. So, but there were other guys on the team, and they kept those players, and they developed those players. They groomed those players. That's where we need to get to. So I don't think it's all a blame Dolan thing. It's all his fault. But we need to take heed of these things. Understand that the free agency, this past free agency, it was a blow. Now, we bounced back. I felt like we got the right pieces. I like what we got in Julius Randle. I like some of the depth pieces that we got. Others may have been a little bit overkill. Time will tell. We'll see what happens. But we need to take that as a lesson, especially with the Nets doing what they did. We need to take that as a lesson and understand that we need to, the foundation, the structure of this team has to be stable. It has to be stable. Because when Kanter says this, I can tell, I don't get into it too much. The players, we talk when we get in the locker room, and the players always see how management or ownership treat other players around. Remember that the Noah situation got a little dicey with Hornacek. We still don't know why Porzingis requested a trade, but that's not a good look. Whether or not you want to say he's a diva, he's this or he's that, he's soft, all of that, I hear you. But listen, I mean, this is the guy that had the potential to be a franchise player for this team, potentially. And he was ready to walk out the door. Melo, Ari says Melo. These things don't create good feelings, good perceptions about that team. And we don't know what really happened in the background, especially with the Porzingis thing. Because we hear the Knicks side of things. Porzingis side has been mainly quiet. I'm curious to see if things start to trickle out as this game approaches. We play the Mavs on November 11th and then November 14th at the Garden. Listen, whether or not you want to say his brother is this, is that, he still requested a trade to be out. Derrick Rose, what he says in his book. Again, I know from Kanter to Rose to Porzingis, these guys don't matter. They're not here. But the perception stays. The perception stays. And for guys around the league, for young rookies in particular, remember, we got young kids on this team who are now coming up in this organization. They too have to have the confidence that we're going in the right direction. Because if you look at what's happened over the past few years and listen to the reputation, that's not that good, man. It's not that good. You know what I mean? I remember I was at Summer League and you see RJ, his parents, his mother, his father's there. They're into the game intently, sitting right there on the sidelines with it was RJ's parents, Fizdale, and then Dolan. Dolan with like 10 models, but that's a whole nother story. That's him. That's his business. He was doing his thing out there in Vegas. You see how invested they are in their kids' future. Some families, some parents, they're just happy that their kid's in the league and they let him do his thing, let the agent handle everything. But others are more hands-on. You see with Porzingis, his family, it was a family business, that representation that they had. So we have to, be cognizant. Not we, but when I say we, I say the organization, management. They have to be cognizant of how they are being perceived in the media, how they are treating certain players, and to make sure that we can make a good name for ourselves in the future, because that impacts not only the young players that we have now, but the young players that are to come, or the free agents that are to come. Who's to say that the next prospect that falls into our lap says, I don't want to play for the Knicks. I had too many bad things. There's too many bad vibes with the Knicks. We got to improve on that. That's all I'm saying. We got to improve on that. Well, what do you guys think? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Mr. X says Porzingis is a prima donna. Hey, I hear you. There's a reason he wanted out. There's a lot of prima donnas that stayed on their team and stayed with the organizations. Cameron Tackmill says, I hate to say this, but you think we are equivalent to the 2019 net? Equivalent in what way? Equivalent in what way? In terms of team? Sid Leonard said, yes, we must improve. I agree with that. Pedesance, what's going on? Salute to everybody in here. That's just my take. It's, for Kanter, it's be quiet. And for the Knicks is take heed. take heed, man. Because these things just aren't good. And yes, training camp is around the corner. There's not much to report on, so you see these things coming out, but it's just not good, man. Just not good. Cameron's point in terms of the Nets, in terms of taking that route, well, you still got to get the right players. You know, one thing you give credit to Marks, they didn't have the draft picks, they didn't have the draft capital to build that team, but he was able to get creative and he got the right guys. You still got to hit. You still got to get the right guys, and they were able to turn things around pretty quickly. Now, what does that mean going forward? We don't know. I mean, they did well last year. Doesn't mean that they're going to continue. It's still early. You know, it's still early. I don't want to just crown the Nets as this model franchise. Like, let's pump the brakes a little bit. They're doing well. Over the 4 years they rebuilt and they got lucky. And we were going sideways and backwards. So they put themselves in the proper position to be in this position to get KD, get Kyrie, and go forward. So let's see what happens with them. Jay from East New York says Kanter was believing in everything we did. Yeah, he was on board until he got benched. Then it was a whole nother tune. Listen, I liked first year Kanter. Second year, it was just way too much chatter, man. Way, way, way too much talking. I couldn't take it. Cameron says, do you think we should go after 2021 free agents or invest in young guys and lock them up long term? No, I still think you got to keep your cap flexible going forward, period. Every young guy is not going to be retained, and every young guy is not going to be moving forward with the team. That's just the reality of the situation. You know, every young guy is not going to be moving forward. I think right now it's RJ, it's Mitch, and we'll see what everybody else can do. If they can keep what they kill or somebody else sticks on. But I think right now RJ and Mitch, I would consider the future, and we'll see what's up with everybody else. You know what I mean? One thing about the Kanter comments, man, the Kanter comments, every time he opens his mouth, it just makes me more and more of a Julius Randle fan. Let me know if you agree with me in the chat, man. Let me know if you agree with me, yes or no. It just makes me more of a Julius Randle fan and really supporting Julius Randle that much more. Because I feel like Julius Randle wants to be the leader of this team. He wants to be the guy. He wants to be a dog. Definitely. So I'm a big Randle fan. I'm gonna be rooting for that guy. Just like Mitch. Mitch is my guy. Y'all know that. I'm definitely a big Julius Randle fan. And what do you know? The Celtics come into town opening night. So Julius has this opportunity. TM says he's going to drop 40 on Kanter. I sure hope so. And for you guys that are in the area, some of you guys that want to come through with me, Jay Ellis, and our friends at the Omni Fan. We have an exclusive VIP suite on the Chase Bridge for opening night, Knicks versus Celtics, Saturday, October 26th at 7:30. Tickets include tickets to the game, meet and greet with a Knicks alumni. We got team photos. We got giveaways. We're going to be doing giveaways, autographed memorabilia. So that's going to be great. Food is also included in the ticket. So it's a real fun experience. And we also have a fan experience that's yet to be announced. I don't know if some of you guys remember when I took the free throw in the court. That could be it. We're still waiting to get confirmation from MSG on what the premium fan experience is going to be. But it's a great package. I already got somebody from Australia. He's coming out with his family all the way from Australia. So it's going to be great. And obviously you guys are going to get a chance to participate in the live stream, the pregame show, the postgame show, halftime as well. So that's going to be great. Other news, Frank. So Frank, Australia played France in the semifinals. Frank gave it a go today. Frank finished with 7 points in 20 minutes, 3-7 shooting, 5 rebounds, a steal. He looked all right. Listen, I think my overall opinion on Frank in these games, defense has been solid. That's right. That's one thing. Defense has been solid. Offensively, you've seen some good. He's still gun shy, but he's stepping up. He's definitely being a bit more aggressive. But you want to see that in a full time. Sometimes I feel like he puts up an invisible wall when he has a lane and where he has an opening in the lane. He still doesn't have that total confidence in his game. Victor says a whopping 7 points. I mean, listen, 7 points in 20 minutes is not terrible. It's not terrible. He didn't play much in crunch time. It was a crazy game, back and forth, a lot of swings. Australia ends up edging out France by, I believe, 2 points. Sid Leonard says he thinks too much. I believe so. He does think too much. But, again, the defense is solid. Jumper needs to be a bit more consistent. And it's still a bit timid. It's not as fluid as you'd like it to be. Defense is solid, though, man. It's solid on defense. But, the main question with Frank is going to be, can his offense catch up to his defense? And not 1-to-1, because obviously I think he plays defense at an above average level. But my question is, are you gonna be able to deal with his offensive deficiencies for the sake of keeping him out there defensively? That's gonna be the question. Can his offense improve to a respectable manner where he can really be a solid contributor on the court? But he's still young. Like you guys say, he's still young, man. He's 21 years old. It's just a matter of, listen, contract ain't young. Contract decision has to be made by October 31st. So on Halloween, you're going to find out if the French Prince is back for his 4th year. This is going to be his 3rd season. So we know last year he wasn't great, whether it's injuries or ineffectiveness, or the team just prioritizing other guys. We had Moutier being out there. Don't know why, but it is what it is. Can't look back. Can't look back on it. So that is the deal with Frank. Let me see who they play next. I believe they either play Serbia or the U.S. I believe they play the U.S. on Wednesday. They play the U.S. on Wednesday, so you guys want to see them play some real competition, this is it. You're going to have Frank guarding who? Spider Mitchell? Kemba? That's going to be a tough one, man. Jay Murder says the other guards are going to take his minutes. Yeah, right now, that's how I see it. I see it as he's got a long way to go. He's got to try to leapfrog DSJ and Peyton. And then, you had him at the 3. You had him at the 3 last year. But now you got RJ, Knox, Morris, Bullock. Can Bullock play some 3? So it's going to be an uphill battle for Frank, man. Paper Juice has put him out there with DSJ. That's one of the things we wanted to see last season, but the injuries derailed that for both guys. Both guys couldn't stay durable last season, so we didn't get to see that with DSJ and Frank. So yeah, they are playing the USA. That's Wednesday, 7 a.m. Eastern. I don't know if I'll be able to get the highlights for that one, but I'll try. And you guys been killing him in the highlights, man. Killing him. The opinions on Frank are just so polar opposites, man. Some people are like, yeah, this is improvement. This looks great. And other people are just like, man, get this guy out of here. Me, I stay on the side of he's 21. I have hopes that he will improve. Like I said, I love his defense. I love his IQ. But can he be more confident? Get more confident out there. Like I said, sometimes it's like sometimes he'll have an opening in the lane and he's just, he puts up an imaginary wall on himself. And I think he has the size to really get a shot over anybody. Like that turnaround J is something that I feel like he needs to be automatic. That needs to be automatic. Because at his size, he should be able to knock that down over anybody. Patty Mills went off in this game big time. Patty Mills FIBA Patty Mills is an absolute machine. I love watching him play in these international games, man, because he's a beast. He was a primary reason Australia won that game today. Patty Mills is a beast, man. Dellavedova didn't really do too much. Ingles was okay. Patty Mills, man. Patty Mills is unstoppable in the FIBA game. Somebody says Frank still ain't got it. Yeah, he's got to get his confidence up, man. He's got to get his confidence up. You know. Definitely got to get his confidence up. Speaking of another Frank Nitty worked out with the Knicks today. If you guys don't know Frank Nitty, he's the Big Three and Drew League standout sensation. 3-time MVP of the Drew League. Frank Nitty worked out with the Knicks today, scrimmaging with some current Knicks players. It was him. Let's see who else. Minnesota guard Dupree McBrayer and Georgetown guard Trey Dickerson. All worked out with the Knicks today. Remember, there's a 2-way contract up for grabs. So we'll see. You might have Frank Ntilikina and Frank Nitty both on one team. So with Chris Wilkes out on that 2-way, we'll see. We'll see. You know, listen, it's just I don't see this kid making a team or any of these guys, but just the Knicks turning over every stone, as they should. And you never know. I mean, this guy's been a journeyman, hasn't really had much success getting to the next level. He's 30 years old. But you never know. The Lakers had that one guy who was damn near 40. It was like 2 years ago. I forgot his name. The guy had he looked like Ray Charles. His whole hair was gray. But he got his shot playing with the Lakers and did okay. Well, this guy, Frank Nitty, he's a Drew League and Big Three killer. MC Dyna says, what happened to Wilkes? They said Wilkes had an injury that caused them to void the 2-way. But according to Berman of the Post, they want to bring him back. So we'll see. They want to bring him back. I know a lot of you guys like Wooten. I liked Wooten, what I saw from him in limited action in Summer League. So we'll see. Wilkes could get brought back. Wooten could. Wooten is already technically there on the Exhibit 10 deal. So at the very least, he should be in the G League with the Westchester team. If he doesn't, I don't think he'll make the main roster. But at the very least, he should be at the G League team. Andre Ingram, Shavon, appreciate it. Andre Ingram was the dude on the Lakers that made it 2 years ago and was able to achieve his dream. He made it to the NBA, man. Shout out to Rome. What up, Rome? Hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Shout out to Rome, man. He's definitely right on that. Hit that thumbs up button for your boy. Working on a lot of things for the channel, man. I'm about to take this thing to a whole nother level. You guys saw Chris Childs was on a couple weeks ago. Chris Childs wants to come back. He hit me up after that interview. He said, bro, how come we didn't take calls? I said, Chris, my bad, man. We were going for an hour. I didn't know you were in it for the long haul. He said, yeah, man. He said, yeah, I wanted to take calls. So I promised them another show where we're going to take strictly phone calls from the fans. So Chris Childs will be back shortly. Ari says that the interview was fire. Yeah, if you guys didn't check that interview, man, hit the eye icon on the right-hand side of the screen and let me know what you guys think about it. TM says Chris Childs had to be the third member. Yeah, he might be, man. He might be. You never know. But shout out to Chris Childs, man. He definitely came through, took us down memory lane. He was so candid, held nothing back. And I asked him, I said, listen, is there anything? Because, when you interview people, certain guys and players and things like that, you got to clear the questions with them and just make sure that everything is kosher that they want to talk about. And I asked him, I said, is there anything that you don't want to talk about? He said, nah, just strictly basketball related, anything. I said, cool. Cameron says, get Isol on the show. I should get Isol on the show. He might be shook. I don't know. I should get him on the show. Berman will be back on the show. Mark Berman will be back on the show as training camp nears. So that is a story with that. And, yeah, man. Shout out to Jam3 Productions. What's going on? If you guys are new in the chat, leave me a hashtag new so I could shout you guys out before I get out of here. And like I said, tomorrow, part 4 of the training camp preview should be ready to go. I've been real busy, man. Haven't gotten a chance to it, but you guys saw the first 3 parts. Those are up in the eye icon. Hit the eye icon in the top right-hand side. You see, every time you come in here, always check that. It'll have like the latest videos or the videos that'll kind of flow within this theme. And what else? I told you guys I got another fan cave that I'm very excited to go see. This guy, he's a 30-year season ticket holder. And some of the stuff he showed me already just blew me out the frame. So I'm supposed to be meeting with him this week, and then at some point we're gonna record that episode and give you guys an inside look at his man cave because it's something to see, man. It is something to see. Absolutely. All right, a couple more questions, and then I gotta get out of here, get back to work. Jay from East New York said, interview Herb Williams. I gotta get Herb. Ask him how he was able to stay with the Knicks for so long, outlasting many coaches. Yeah, Matthew Willard, you ain't new. I know you. What's going on, Matthew? Mr. X says, we want you on MSG. Well, hey, this is MSG, right? This is what we want to make it. This is what we want to make it, man. So, you know, somebody else said that. I said, listen, the show's right here. The show's right here. If you think about it, think about the guests that we've had. We've had Ian Begley, the superstar on the Knicks beat. We had Mark Berman from the New York Post on the beat for 20 years. We had Moke Hamilton from The Athletic. We had Tommy Beer, Forbes Magazine, excellent writer. Excellent writer. We had Chris Childs, former player. And we're working on it. And we're working on some more. I mean, where else have you seen that so far? And that's just a small list. But you haven't seen it on MSG, no offense to them. You haven't seen it on ESPN, no offense to them. And you're paying for that. And we gave you all that for free. So I'm just saying, you know, we appreciate the support, and we're going to keep rolling with it, man. A couple super chats. I got to acknowledge the super chats. Sometimes I get ahead of myself with the content and don't acknowledge. It's very important that I acknowledge that because we appreciate you guys contributing to the show. There's no way that we can continue going without donations and contributions, so we appreciate it. And we will be doing a Patreon eventually. We will be starting up a Patreon before the season starts. And that'll include a nice little package for the fans. Like I said, we have to, we want to put out some more content. You know, that's just the reality of it. We want to put more content out. I want to do more storytelling, more documentary style, more interviews, more live on locations, more varied content. I'm talking to some other people to bring some more content to the show. The thing is, this is different than a podcast. On a podcast, you can just pick up a mic, hit record, and put it out there. With this, there's way more production involved. There's way more resources involved. It's very time-intensive, resource-intensive. So we are going to start up a Patreon, and we hope that you guys will contribute. We hope that you guys will support. Because as you see, if you look at my first video, look at my first ever video on this channel, and look at the videos today. And what you're going to see is a consistent theme. You're going to see growth. You're going to see a commitment to excellence. You're going to see a passion for what I'm doing here, for what we're doing here. And I'm just trying to take that to the next level. So the guy said, I want you on MSG. I want to keep it here. I'd love to work. I'd love to collaborate with them. Don't get me wrong. But I want to keep it here. I want this to take this to the next level of a fan based for the fans, by the fans, where we giving you everything. We could give you all the guys, all the analysis, right? This is not just homer talk. We want to give you real analysis, give you players, and then have fun, you know, post-game reactions and all that in between. So it's got to come from you guys. That's the bottom line. It's got to come from you guys. We need your help putting this together. And when the Patreon comes out, it's not going to be a heavy tax. It'll be something, you know, you probably go to the store and spend the same amount on a soda or coffee or something. Some of you guys drink Starbucks every day. It'll be cheaper than that. I'll tell you that. Go to Starbucks, man. You walking out of there with like a $10 bill sometimes. Michael Parker, keep it organic. That's what I'm trying to do, man. Keep it organic, homegrown. You know, and what you see from this channel again is a commitment to excellence, professionalism, as we grew, all the super chats and everything so far, all the ad revenue has come back into the channel. As we've grown, we brought Dave along, KnicksFanTV Dave. Dave screens the calls. Dave edits videos. Dave is out there on the beat. Dave is doing everything. That comes with a cost. But again, it brings another element to this channel. You're not getting that nowhere else. All those guests that I just named, you're not getting that nowhere else. And that's not a knock on what everybody else is doing. I'm just telling you what we're doing. You know what I mean? And if I'm wrong, let me know. But all I'm saying is, you're not getting that nowhere else. Or you haven't gotten that anywhere else. You've gotten that here. You've gotten that here. And so that's all I'm saying, man. We need you guys' support. And with that support, we're going to take this thing to the next level. And hopefully we grow with the team. Hopefully we grow with the team. And maybe I'm not an old geezer by the time this team actually wins an NBA championship. And that would be great if we did this whole thing together. So let's salute the super chats. Chester Chetnik Nason says Phil has a system. MJ, Scotty, Kobe, Shaq bought and won the chip. Rose and Melo didn't win the chip. Listen, I think coaching and playing goes hand in hand when it comes to winning. I certainly think that if you put the right system in there, I think you can get the most out of your players. Obviously, with Phil, he had some of the greatest players of all time. Maybe it didn't make a difference what they were running. Maybe they still would have won. Who knows? But I still think it goes hand in hand. I still think it goes hand in hand. I still think it goes hand in hand. But shout out to Phil, whatever he's doing. I don't care. The other super chat says Michael Parker, my guy. Michael Parker, prime example. Contributes to this show on a daily basis. Now, some of you might not have the means. That's fine. I'm not expecting everybody to do so. But I bring up Michael Parker because he believed in us from day one. And been contributing to this show since day one. And he understands the need to keep it organic. He understands to support homegrown talent for the fans, by the fans, for us, by us, whatever you want to call it. Take it for what it means. Take it for what you will. But he believes in it. And so, Michael, we always appreciate your contributions to the show. He says, salute to the chat. Salute CP. I agree with the idea that the Knicks want to see more of a Frank and DSJ tandem before jettisoning him off. He'll have until the All-Star game. Nitty is a baller. Yeah, I mean, listen, they want to see it. They want to see it, man. So we'll see. We'll see. I want to see it. I'd love to see Frank here working out with this team and really gelling with these guys. But it's really up to the coach and the management. It's really up to them. Sammy Soso, your channel straight. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. You're always in here. Appreciate that. Frank White Robinson, appreciate it. Nuggy Fresh, what's going on? Yeah, man. I gotta eat dinner in a second, but I'll say what up to some of you guys. Alfredo says, would you trade Frank to the Spurs for Lonnie Walker? I don't think the Spurs would trade us Lonnie Walker, to be honest. I don't think the Spurs ain't trading Lonnie Walker, man. He's on the way up. Frank's trade value to me is just not there right now. Pedersen said, did I see Stone Cold in the Knicks jersey? I did. Stone Cold's my guy. I love Stone Cold, man. That's my guy. He's at the Garden. They're doing WWE at Madison Square Garden. So, Stone Cold's supposed to be there. They gave him a 316 Knicks jersey. So that was pretty cool. Somebody said, when's the regular lives coming back? We're getting back. We're getting back. I haven't locked it in yet. I got to link up with Jay Ellis and figure out when that's going to be. We'll start it up on a weekend and then kick off. Remember, training camp is June 30th. And the thing is, too, when we do these lives, like, I want to keep it fresh. Like, as training camp starts and the training camp sound bites come out, there's stuff that we can really react to. I don't want to just make up content just off the rip. I want to kind of keep it fresh, keep it closer to when things start, so we can really, get into it. And as the season gets underway, we got preseason coming up. We got preseason coming up October 5th. Gary Singer says, live after every game? Of course, man. Of course, definitely. I tried to do a couple lives from Summer League, but my hotel Wi-Fi wouldn't let me be great. But if I was home, I would definitely be doing it. And preseason, definitely. His end said September 30th. Did I say June? No, September 30th. Training camp is September 30th. After every game, even the West Coast ones. Some of you, I don't know if some of you guys were watching us during the West Coast games. What we did for the West Coast ones, we would just do the play-by-play because they would start so late and end so late. We didn't want to do the post-game show at 12 o'clock Eastern time, midnight Eastern time. So we would just kind of react live as it went along, and it was tough to watch. Quentin Powell says, when is the open practice? I don't know. I've been asking him. I haven't heard from him when the open practice is. So I'll find that out. Gary Sig says the West Coast watch-alongs were long nights. Those are some long nights, bro. Real long nights. Let me just check this text here, see if it's relevant for the show. Okay, no, not relevant. What else? A couple more comments and then I'll roll. Who's the hashtag new? Let me go back to the hashtag new and shout you guys out. Shout out TM in here, Ally Wise, appreciate it. Jam 3 Productions dropped a super chat. He said, ownership is everything. Do you think, sir? That is the goal in my life. That's the goal, man. I want to own. We got to own. We got to own more. You know? We got to own more. It's the proper way to build. And I just feel like for me, that's just, you know, happiness for me is really that's the ultimate ending in terms of freedom. The ultimate goal is to be free, to be owned, to own your own thing, to do what you really love and be passionate about it. I think that's the most fulfilling thing in life, outside of family and religion. If you are religious, I feel like that's the next thing in line. If it's a difficult thing. It's a very difficult thing. Entrepreneurship is a very difficult undertaking to endure. It's very difficult, but you know, as Ari said, stay the course, and that's what I'm gonna do. Zen says, what do you think about Dotson this upcoming season? I love that. He's in a dogfight right now, I think, with ISO and Ellington. If you guys saw our training camp preview with myself, Jay Ellis, and Terry, we talked about that. You know, Dotson, Frank, ISO at the 2, Ellington. Ellington is probably the best shooter on the team. When does Ellington get those minutes? You have Dotson, who probably gives you the best balance in that starting lineup. Yes, to me, I'm still going to start RJ. But you could argue Dotson gives you more balance in that lineup if you're starting him next to DSJ in terms of spacing. Right? In terms of somebody that can shoot the three. In terms of somebody that can defend. Now, his off-ball defense needs a little bit of work. But, you know, that's my thoughts on Dotson. I like Dotson, man. I like Dotson. So we'll see. But it's a lot of guys. I don't know who's going to stick around. Like I said, everybody's not going to stick. So we'll see. We'll see who sticks around. This was the show here where we talked about Dotson. There we go. A 2-guard rotation. What'd you guys think of the YouTube studio, man? The KnicksFanTV studio. We got another session coming up on the 23rd. So I got some content I want to talk about there. If you guys have some topics that you want us to talk about, leave it in the comments also. Maybe we'll do like 2 topics that we select and 1 topic from the fans. And we'll make we'll do a debate on it. We'll do a debate on it. You know. But as I said, it just all goes back to what I was saying about support. This studio doesn't happen without you guys supporting. So when we say hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share these videos, this is the end result. This is the end result. because we've been able to grow so much that it allowed us access to this studio, state-of-the-art equipment, HD 4K cameras. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So this is what I mean. This is what I mean. When you guys support, it all goes back into the growth of this channel. Matthew Willard says he's a vet. Salute to the vets, man. Always got love for the vets. Appreciate the service. He's currently in the Army Reserves. Appreciate that. E. John Campbell, appreciate it, man. He says the studio's dope. Gorilla MacGyver started that. Salute to all the veterans in the chat. Absolutely, man. We definitely want to salute the vets, not just on the Hallmark holidays, but period. Because they do a lot for us, man. We definitely appreciate it. It's me in here. Appreciate it. Macho Man Logic. Appreciate it. PayPal. What's going on? Also, who's out in L.A.? I'm going to be out in L.A. We're going to do a link up in L.A. in a couple weeks. So if you guys are in L.A., you want to come hang out one night, we'll talk Knicks, grab some drinks or whatever. 21 and up, or absolutely. Come and hang out with us. I'm going to go meet up with some of the guys I was with in Vegas who came out there from L.A. I'm going to link up with them and we'll do a Knicks fan meetup. So if you guys are in Vegas, CK, I hit up CK. He's down. So CK is going to link up with us as well. And I'm sure we'll do some content and share that with you guys as well. Michael Ray says that Chris Childs interview was quality, 60 minutes, Dateline quality. Props to you. Thanks, man. Thanks a lot, man. It's always as good as the guests make it out to be. And like I said, it was like you were talking to your friend. You know what I mean? I had no relationship with him. I had no relationship with Chris Childs. I just took a leap. And like this, that's what you have to do. Whatever you guys are trying to do, whatever goals you're trying to accomplish, take a leap. Don't be scared like Frank is out there to pull it. Pull that jump shot. Who cares? If you miss, you miss. Tomorrow's another day. Take that jumper, and that's what I did. And that's where Chris Childs came from. You know, that's where Chris Childs came from. It's just taking a leap, man. So if anybody's watching out there, go for it. Whatever you want to do, go for it. Nungy Fresh says, the sound was low on the vocals. But like I said, first time for everything. We'll get it right the next time, not a problem. But yeah, it was the vocals were a bit low. I tried to do what I could on the editing. But yeah, for the next set, they will be better. They will be better. So no worries on that. All right, last question. Andrew Back says, Childs interviews great. Love the John Stark. Yeah, the John Stark story. Like, come on, man. That's classics. Classics. And Andrew, it looks like you're new. I don't recall much interaction with you, so it looks like you're a new viewer. So welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, man. I'm trying to scroll through and catch that hashtag new. Yeah, we had a good time. Terry's my guy. Terry's sharp. Knows a lot about the Knicks. Season ticket holder. He's cool. Ahmed Letta. He says hashtag new. Shout out to Ahmed. And what we're also going to do ultimately is we're going to set up. I hope you guys in TM, if you could drop the link to the Discord. We're going to also set up an opportunity for our international fans to call in. So we'll do like an early Saturday show coming up. And we'll get our international guys in. I want to hear from those guys as well. The phone number for the fan call-in show is a U.S. number, so I know a lot of international guys can't call in. Carlos Martinez did call from Australia one time, and that was cool. He probably used a calling card or something. So we'll go through Discord. And so make sure you guys, if you guys are not living in the United States, if you're not living in America, make sure you join the Discord, and we're going to set up a day for all of you guys to connect. And even if you are, from the US and you'd rather just, go through the Discord, you can do that as well. Okay, one more question, and then I will roll out. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up if you guys are new. Somebody said, Mr. X says, I'm new too. I feel like you've been in here before. Well, you might be. If you are, welcome. I feel like I've seen your comments before. Mr. X says, how important is point guard play this year? Point guard play is important every year. You know, the point guard is the engine. The point guard is the engine of the car. Without the point guard, we can't go. So this is a pivotal year for Dennis Smith Jr. Dennis Smith Jr. was the piece of the Porzingis trade. We still want to see that trade realized. Even though we got the cap flexibility, even though we got the draft picks, we still got an asset here that we want to see pan out. So to me, as I said in that video that I just showed you, and you could check it out at the top hand right of your screen, DSJ got to take that leap, man. If you guys want to see the Knicks have a respectable season, regardless if they make the playoffs or not, something respectable that you can hang your hat on and say, you know what, we might not have made it, but we had a good season, better than 17 wins, obviously. I think DSJ has to take that next step, man. DSJ has to take that next step. It's crucial. It's crucial. Peyton intrigues me still. He had an excellent second half of the year. Second half of the year, he was averaging 9 assists a game. Next to only, I believe, Trae Young, LeBron James, and one other player. Peyton had an excellent second half. Injuries kind of curtailed it. We know he can't shoot well, but we know he can run the offense, orchestrate the offense. It's going to be interesting to see where his minutes fit in. They paid him $10 million to come here. And I don't think it was just because they had to spend the money. Yes, they had to spend the money, but as you heard, Elfrid Payton was somebody that the management wanted. He was Scott Perry's guy in Orlando. They tried to trade for him before they traded for Moutier, and now he's here. So, again, for Team Frank out there, you know, Elfrid has to be factored in. You got my man ISO. Although I look at ISO more as a 2. Some people say don't sleep on him as a 1. I see ISO as a 2. Instant offense, scoring off the bench. I think ISO is going to be just fine. I think ISO is going to be just fine. Jack Rhodes. Yeah, injuries are a part of it. You never know. Injuries are definitely a part of it. Matthew Willard. Hardest question, do we start Knox and Morris, or do some of them come off the bench? I said in the video that I would go with Morris in the beginning because I want to try to trade him. If we're not, especially if we're not like really seriously in the playoff hunt, I would try to trade him. So I'm trying to get him as much exposure as I can. Kev got time. He's only 20, right? We said last year he's only 19. He's only 20. So Kev has time. So I would say go with Morris. He gives you more veteran leadership. He gives you more IQ. He's a more consistent scorer. Gives you better defense. And again, he balances. He gives you a bit more balance. You know, we still got to defend that. We got to get a couple stops, or at least try. So I kind of like the balance that he would give if you're going with Randle and Mitch in that front court. I like that balance in the front court because you can spread the floor. Still, with Randle and Mitch, you'll see about the spacing, but I think Randle, what you saw is that he's working on his jumper. He's working on his outside shot, trying to spread the floor a little bit more. And Jack says that leadership. I like that, what Morris can bring. So we'll see. We shall see. But that's it, man. Like I said, be on the lookout for part 4 of tomorrow's training camp preview. Speaking of Julius Randle, it is going to be about Julius Randle. Hint, hint. So get ready for that. And that's about it, man. Once again, hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Don't miss out. Knicks home opener tickets are on sale. Hit the link in the bio. Link in the bio. Once again, comes with tickets to the game in the VIP Chase Lounge. Meet and greet with the Knicks alumni. Could be Starks, could be LJ, could be Spreewell. We got group pictures, free food, free drinks, soda, not alcohol. And it's going to come with one premium fan experience with to be announced. Now, it could be a free throw, could be a group photo on the court, it could be pregame shoot-around, front row and pregame shoot-around. We're not sure yet, so I don't want to just say what it's going to be until I find out from MSG. But, yeah, join us, man. It's going to be a great time, and I will check you guys next time. Enjoy your night. Be safe out there, and I'll catch up with you guys, man. Peace.